instead of you just looking at an ad in a paper, it's actually real time. You're actually seeing something. So I think that's way cool that you created this.
Awesome. Yes.
And I have to admit, so I don't even know how I got on it, but one time, I'm on Facebook and I say, I was added to the socialites. I'm like, me? I'm a socialite? What? So, there I am. So anyway, I thank you for including me. And ever since, I've been following Out and About Sarasota. So you guys go to very unique things. And, you were talking about the big cat habitat. I've never been. But now I really want to go because, you're showing so many unique spots in Sarasota.
Yeah, it's fun because actually I didn't even know. I mean, there's so many things that I've learned about, and so it's like an adventure. So I get to go to like all these great places that have been here, but I never knew about. I mean, even restaurants. I mean, I go with Sarasota Sally. She's part of the show as well. We started actually originally with her doing a lot of food, and she has a dining club, SarasotaSally.com. So it's been interesting, all the different restaurants. I mean, there's so many new restaurants too that are so yummy, but we'll talk a little bit about that later. But Big Cat Habitat, going back to that is one of the best cat meow places to go. Actually, we were just there yesterday filming. And every time it seems that they get a new animal, we get to go out and kind of interview the animal.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got to play with the monkeys yesterday, and that was interesting. And I felt kind of like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Remember Michael Jackson had that, what was the Bubbles? I kind of felt like that because they have a monkey there called Mikey that they've had a long time. And didn't have any teeth, bless its heart, Jesus. But it's an older monkey, but it's great that they rescue and they obtain these animals from people that may not know what to do. Yeah, it is. And so they rescue animals as well as people that have animals. Maybe they start as a small alligator and it gets too big for the bathtub. That's how they end up with them.
Oh. So, again, that's a unique aspect that you're able to go to these places and really tell their stories too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So one of my favorite things that we talk about socialites and going to restaurants and, fun activities, but I have to give kudos to Out and About Sarasota because right after we had the hurricane here, Out and About came to help people understand the needs that Goodwill had immediately and what we were doing to help people and the Red Cross right afterwards. So it's more than just socialite and, fun activities. It's really, really interesting and caring about this community. So thank you.
You're welcome. And Veronica, I was just talking a little bit earlier before you got here that I actually have been educated too. I still learn daily how much Goodwill really does for the community. I mean, there's so many different programs that I had no clue about. I mean, it's just been shocking to me. I was just talking earlier about the ambassador of the year or or monthly or however you do that. We were talking about that, your ambassador program, and maybe we can educate our viewers as well a little bit about that program.
Yes. So for our listeners, they hear about it all the time, but we love our ambassadors because we have lunch and learns, and near the end of the show, Sam's going to talk about all the great activities we do. But this is an opportunity. Just come in for behind the scenes tour. We provide lunch, and you actually get to know how that shirt that you donate turns into a job. That's the most important thing for us to get out there because, yes, we have great stores, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Great selection, best value. But the reason we're able to do that is because kind, generous donors donate their unwanted items to us. And then the sale of those donated goods goes towards providing salaries for people with disabilities or other barriers to employment.
Absolutely. So anybody that's listening that wants to learn more about what we do, because like Veronica just said, we talk about it on the show, but sometimes still people don't know. They have no idea all the great things that Goodwill does for our community and our team members. Come to our next Lunch and Learn. It's on Saturday, March 24th which they're not usually on Saturdays. Usually they're during the week, but we try to do at least one a year on a Saturday so that those of you who work full-time and can't make it out of work to come to a Lunch and Learn, you can still come learn about all the great things that we're doing and how you can get involved. Because once you come to that Lunch and Learn, we consider you an ambassador because you know what we're all about and you're able to go be our advocates in the community and help dispel those rumors that people think they know everything about Goodwill, and a lot of times they really have no idea.
Because knowledge is power. So we give you the power to help us change lives.
Absolutely.
God, we sound like a commercial. Isn't that great? No,
It's like we talk about it a
I
lot.
know. Let me talk about me and my job. I love it. So back to Out and About, because we are, isn't that funny how we twisted that? We're interviewing him and then he's like, no, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to interview you. So, but with the Big Cat Habitat, you're actually doing something for them, aren't you?
Absolutely. We're actually doing a event. I believe it's on April 7th. It is on April 7th. But what I really wanted to talk about is one of our newest flavors. It's called Clean Juice. And they're actually having a big grand opening. And you can come out and meet the cast of Out and About. We're doing a big red carpet. They're actually doing a lot of giveaways. That's what the fun thing is about grand openings, because you never know what you're going to get. You get to kind of sample what they have to offer. So it's Clean Juice. It's this Saturday, March the 10th, from 8 to 8. They're opening their doors. And come on out and meet the cast of Out and About and get on the red carpet and have some fun. We always make it a lot of fun. We don't make it stuffy, and we make it happen.
And for people who aren't familiar, where can they find you online so they can keep up with everything that you're doing?
So you can go to SarasotaOutAndAbout.com. That's SarasotaOutAndAbout.com.
Yes, and you were talking about I just looked it up. So it's the Big Cat Habitat Jungle Jam.
Jungle Jam, yes.
Jungle Jam. That's it. It was on the tip of my tongue. Okay, April 7th from 5:30 to 10. Who stays up that late? But anyway.
Hey, I think I've seen you on the red carpet a little late than that.
But yeah, that sounds like a fun activity. So yeah.
You got to come out. I'm going to make you come out.
I know, because it's one of our treasures here in Sarasota, and I really, really want to make sure that I go and experience it. I see so many people who go and take pictures with, the cats or the monkeys. But I mean, yeah, we should do it a staff retreat.
Ooh, yes, let's do that. Staff retreat at Big Cat Habitat sounds good.
Yeah.
I was next door at the Farm Bureau one time and kept hearing like big roars and things like that, and I was like, "What is that?" Like, it was so scary to just hear like a giant roar. But we're gonna take a quick break where we hear from our sponsors, who we love so much because they support this show and support us telling you about all the great things that are happening in the community. This is Goodwill, Minnesota's Tell Me Something Good on WSRQ Radio, and we will be right back.
Okay.
No, we're still going. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so next, before we go into Kindness Community, let's talk about what's happening, and we're going to talk about your award.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So,
It's mind-boggling. We don't really need it.
yeah, we do. We do. Okay, so we're good. Second segment. Welcome back to Goodwill, Minnesota's Tell Me Something Good. So I love hearing about what's happening in our community, and it is so unique and enriching that we have Out and About Sarasota to help us walk through the little jewels in our community.
Mm-hmm.
So where will you be going next after, well, I know you got the Big Cat Habitat. What else is coming up?
So then this weekend, like I was stating earlier, we are having a big grand opening over at Clean Juice, which is off of University near the Kohl's Plaza where the Whole Foods is. That will be out there from 11 to 3 with the cast of Out and About. And that's what's happening this weekend.
I love the fact that they call it Clean Juice.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, what am I drinking?
Yeah.
Dirty juice?
No, we were talking about that before the show too. Because my first thought, I was like, "Well, what does it clean?" And he was like, "I think it cleans your inside." Like, oh, okay. But no, then Jacqueline said that it would be clean, like clean, like no bad ingredients. Just
Oh,
like
okay.
cool,
Yeah.
clean. Yeah.
Isn't it funny how we
Plant-based,
interpret that?
healthy
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, healthy stuff.
Yeah. Clean.
Organic.
As I met with the owner, I was telling her earlier because she was like, "Is that like a cleaning solution, maybe?" I was like, "Well, that would be a good name for a cleaning solution, actually." Being a butler, I would know all about that.
Yeah.
So when I met with the owner of Clean Juice, I actually gave her a big box of chocolates from Noella, the brand new place that just sponsored the show, downtown Sarasota. Wonderful place. Wonderful place. Actually, we just posted that video. But the owner of Clean Juice was in the middle of doing a Clean Juice cleanse.
Oh.
So I gave her the gift of chocolate, which is poison basically to
that
somebody
is-
that's cleansing.
horrible.
And she ate the whole box.
That is horrible.
It's a journey.
I know. But
Mm-hmm.
so I know I introduced Jacqueline as the founder of Kindness Community, but she is so much more. She is the president of the Power and Light Company, which I love. So before I go into like a big kudo, how did you come up with that name?
Way back in the day when I was in my corporate incarnation and kind of socially engineered being an internal consultant in all things to do with people development, I just had this vision that I would have my own company one day and I would just behave as an internal consultant like I already had my own company, and I had to come up with a name. And so the Power and Light just landed in my brain one day. It's all about the power and light within people, the power and light source that we believe in, or some people might think about. And so when we tap into that power and light within each individual, we change worlds, we change lives. So that's where that came from. And it's been around for 16 years now. My little small business, once I quote unquote retired from corporate America, which, you know, we don't retire anymore. It's all been redefined.
Wow, I think it's wonderful, and it's cute how she had that little tag together. But what she has created for Kindness Community, and I know our listeners love it because you reach out to us about our Kindness Community section, but it's all because of Jacqueline Moore. And if this is the first time you're listening, I'm going to tell you why we do it. So when Jacqueline was the mayor of the great city of Northport, she realized that there needs to be some civility going on. So when she went into her next phase, after being the mayor, she said, "That's it. I have time. I'm putting this together." And she did. She literally worked with Goodwill. We started with 100 signatures of Goodwill ambassadors, and now we're at 28,000 signatures for people promising to make a conscious effort to do kindness and acts of kindness every day. And it's so important. So I give total kudos to Jacqueline because it is. I love going on Facebook now. Before it was like nasty. People were just plain nasty. But now everyone is, you know, they feel good if they put a little meme about kindness up.
Yes.
And that might be their only sort of kind thing they do during the day. But hey, you know, it's because of Jacqueline. She's the one who has ignited this kindness. So I love you. I love everything you do. And yeah, before you start talking, I have got to tell you this. So for our listeners, tell me this is not cool. Jacqueline Moore will be receiving the prestigious Ambassador of World Civility Award. What?
I know, it's
What? Let's see. Oh, I think this is interesting. You have to go to Gary, Indiana to accept this award. Why Gary, Indiana? Because, you know, now I'm going to sing that song. Gary, Indiana. Gary, you know what I'm talking
Is
about?
that from
Music Man.
Music Man, yes. yes.
Yeah,
My
drives me
grandchildren
crazy.
were in that recently, and they sang it wonderfully well. Well,
Not me.
no,
I
you
get
did
that.
too. Yeah.
But that is awesome. I mean, Wow.
Well, it's a shock. It's a great thing. It was a surprise. And so, one thing I've learned in my Earth School is that we accomplish nothing on our own. And Veronica, without Goodwill, Minnesota, the ambassadors and the heart that is in our community, among this community we're speaking about, nothing would be happening. So all together, we have this, it's interesting. It includes everyone, it's expansive all the time, and it's very focused. It's about creating social change that makes kindness a way of life. I was just interviewed by the Sarasota Observer last week. There are an article's coming out pretty soon, I guess. And she asked me, because I talk about behaviors, it's all about behaviors. She said, well, what are examples of behaviors you've seen change in the last 15 months or however long since you had the baby? Because that's what I say, I feel like I had a baby, when Kindness Community was born. And I articulated what you alluded to earlier, Veronica. People consciously will see something related to kindness and they will speak it or post it. And not just on social media. Also, I'm the mother confessor. People come up to me and say, I wasn't kind yesterday and I wanted to tell you. I'm
How funny.
I know. I'm like, well, I love you. It's okay. Forgive yourself. Let's all move on.
And then they expect communion or something.
Well, we're human beings. And so to me, the joy of this is that it is a journey. It never ends. It includes everyone. And so another goddess, as I would call her, Lou Bear, who is a worldwide civility expert, she's an author, she's a thought leader, she's incredibly awarded and recognized everywhere. She and Dr. Clyde Rivers found I Change Nations. And so we are now in this process together to continue to take civility and underpinning agent of which is kindness, as well as restraint, as well as courtesy, as well as manners, these layers of behaviors that will restore and mend this fabric in our world is our humble intention and aspiration. So Lou nominated me, apparently from the letter I received. There were many nominees and, all that. And it's just an incredible opportunity because it's not about me. It's a platform for us to keep a conversation going and this was a big learning for me these 15 months. We say what we want as far as a community, and we've been talking about this all the 15 months plus we've been in this process together, consciously and actively. We say what we want, and then we behave contrary to that. Because we're mere mortals, we're just all in process, and we're all amazing and wonderful. So the deep conversation to continue loving and nurturing and tending the field for is to close that gap, because kindness is in that gap between what we say and what happens outside of us and how we respond. And that's how we'll create this community that we don't have to agree. The Dalai Lama is just one of my most favorite munchkins. I mean, he's just so adorable. He's so full of light. He's so precious and just, he's a sweet spirit. He's a pure spirit. I've been around him. He's amazing. And he says, whenever possible, be kind. It's always possible. So that's one of the mantras of Kindness Community is no matter what anyone else does or says or doesn't say or doesn't do, it's just, that's not important. What's important is we get to choose in that gap between what happens and what we do, how to choose a response that keeps the relationship whole. And we don't have to agree on anything. We just don't have to agree on anything. And we can still be kind, and that is the vision. And just as information, part of this group I was talking about, of which we are the foundation here in our region, is the National Civility Center that is international, headquartered in Canada and chartered in the United States and expanding to all over the place. I'm grateful that I'm a new board member there, and we're going to be exploring this even more deeply, and we'll talk about it next time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And I was just thinking, like you said, so many people, you have to think about it sometimes to be kind, but it's something you can do, and you don't have to agree with everybody to be a kind person. But we're going to continue this conversation on kindness as soon as we come back from this quick break where we hear from those sponsors who support this show. We love them for that. Thank you so much. This is Goodwill, Minnesota's Tell Me Something Good on WSRQ Radio, and we'll be right back.
So start thinking about something kind that someone has done for you or that you have done for someone. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're ready.
Maricel's not used to it. We're usually so lollygagging on our breaks.
I know.
We actually take one.
Lollygagging, yeah. Jacqueline brought us this candle for our office.
Love. Oh. Let me smell.
That was exactly. I was like, I'll smell it now. Thank you.
Oh,
Is that okay?
what is that? Gardenias?
I don't know.
I think
just
it's
liked it,
gardenias.
and it was about y'all
You
and
really
love and
Yeah. Yum.
It doesn't say.
You would think it would.
I know it's gardenias.
Oh, you know?
Yeah. It smells like gardenias.
Might be.
Is the emotion of strong romantic?
Oh.
But I have to prove I'm right.
It's not on there.
It's not
Validated. Yeah, now we started it. It is occurring.
Well, you know my ADD. No, that's gardenia. I know it.
That's gardenia.
Okay. Yep.
Just trust her.
Yes. Welcome back to Goodwill, Minnesota's Tell Me Something Good. So we are continuing our conversation about kindness. So as Jacqueline said, everybody has the ability to show kindness.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go around the room and talk about kindness. So I'm going to have Sam start.
Surprise!
I know.
Well, so Jacqueline, you may not know this, but since we talk about this every week on the show, we get put on the spot a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what have you done? We really have to be actively kind and really pay attention to it. But one thing that I've been trying to pay more attention to lately, and a lot of the things that we talk about end up focusing on driving, because that is a perfect opportunity to be kind to people. And just at least watch yourself and be kind to yourself, even, because sometimes you get frustrated, driving, and it takes a toll on you. But I have been trying to actively pay attention to the cars behind me when I'm at red lights, so that if I see that they want to turn, to try and move up as much as I can to let them go by, because I feel like sometimes people don't move on purpose. They're like, sorry, you have to sit through this red light too. But I've been trying to really, really pay attention to the cars behind me, so that if someone wants to turn, to give them enough space while we're waiting at red lights. Because I feel like that's a nice little thing. And they always wave. They're like, oh, thanks, because it's helpful, and it's a really nice thing, I think, when someone moves up for you at a red light.
Oh, yeah. And it drives you crazy when they don't.
Yeah, when you just need a foot.
Right, it's just a foot. And you don't want to honk, because then, that puts them at arms.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what?
I would reverse if someone honked at me.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be very kind. So
No,
maybe
I
I would
know.
do
You all
that.
are familiar with Wayne Dyer, the author. So he used to talk about meditating and how important it was. And he had consulted with Deepak Chopra about his anger and trying to process. And Deepak would just say, meditate, meditate, meditate. So Wayne Dyer got to this point where he understood that if you're at a stoplight or wherever and someone honks at you, that simply means meditation's over. That's all it means. It's just like a sign.
Like, pay attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, we can say, thank you for that reminder that my meditation's over and it's time to drive.
I barely ever honk, because my dad taught me when
Yeah, I
I
don't
was
either.
little. One time I remember riding with him, and I was like, you need to honk. That person, what are they doing? And he was like, they know they did it wrong. I don't need to honk at them and point it out to everyone else. And I was like, oh, all right.
Now, I've gone through horns. I literally have to bring in to get a new fuse, because I literally will, and I'll follow you all the way on the highway, leaning on the horn, because I want everybody to know you did wrong. So now you're making me sound horrible.
Yeah.
No.
My husband yells at me sometimes. He's like, you need to honk. He's like, they almost hit you. I'm like, they know. I don't need to point it out.
Oh, too funny. All right, Jacqueline, you're up.
Well, I'm so inspired. Thank you so much again for the opportunity to be here with you all today. I'm just kind of all over the place with this energy, because kindness is an energy, and it is contagious, and it feels good to do it. So that's why it's a win-win-win. Feels good to do it. People observe it, they feel better. they're more likely, the research says, to be kind the next time they have an interaction going on where they might choose otherwise. So the power is absolutely limitless. So part of the definition of civility that I and these affiliates with this civility experts worldwide are pushing out into the world is a definition. And part of it is to ease the experience of others. Everything we're talking about where we actually put the other person first and we are paying attention and mindful in the moment of how I could do something behaviorally that could actually help someone. Traffic is a great example. Just today, driving here on 75 for many miles, I just continue to be humble at the learning opportunities that, so just because we eat, live, breathe, and sleep this doesn't mean that there aren't opportunities where we're going to notice these old patterns of even thinking something is an energy. So, example, in my neighborhood, our neighbors try to, and this is an adorable thing, outdo each in returning each other's receptacles on trash day. I mean, it's just so adorable. Just
that's so
because
nice.
everybody just wants to, and it seems like a little thing, but it's just when you like go up 20,000 feet and watch the neighborhood, watch the community, it really moves me that people make it an intention to do something to help someone. And so that's what we're talking about. And that is how we change the world. That is the behavior, one act at a time. That creates an environment where people feel safe, people feel welcomed, people feel at peace, and God knows we need that.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Love it. Yes, Tyler, you are up. Let's talk about kindness.
Let's talk about kindness. So, seems like a lot of kindness happens in the car, doesn't it?
Oh.
We all have stories about cars.
Or non-kindness.
Right. So trying to keep the happy spirit I try to always have. Not. Okay, so my car has not been so happy with me. Seems like I can't make it past 2 or 3 weeks before I end up breaking down. So once again, I had my car back out of the shop. A week later, I find myself overheated on the side of the interstate.
What?
So I had to ask the car, please, just make it to the exit. It was not happening. So I sat there and I pushed the button. Of course, they say it's going to be anywhere from 45 minutes to 3 hours. So you want to keep the smile on your face. Oh, great. Perfect. Anyways, I said, no one's going to stop. No one's going to stop. It's late. Somebody actually pulls over. And I said, there's actually people that are really nice. And it was this really, really old man.
Aww.
And he wanted to do whatever it took to help me.
Oh, that was so sweet.
And I said, it's been a long time since, you really come across or think that there actually is people out there that still, really, really care about you sitting. I mean, there was a lot of cars, I'm not going to lie, that passed by for a good 30 minutes before that happened. But I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, there's actually really... And he actually gave me a ride in his car. I could have been a killer for all he knew. He gave me a ride actually to the exit and where I was safe and dropped me off at a store. And I called for, someone to come and pick me up.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's still kindness out there.
I always think about that, and then for some reason, I'm just like, they probably have it under control. Like, I think, should I stop? I'm like, oh no, they've got it. But that's really nice. I should stop sometime.
Yeah. There was, I'm going to talk about something. Go ahead, Bruce. I'm going to talk about all three. So you were talking about that, but yeah, Jeremy and I had a flat tire, and it was when we lived up in DC. So, flat tire in a snowstorm.
Oh boy.
On, the Beltway. I mean, like, just worse. And we pull over, and we weren't married yet, so we were dating, and it was my car. And he had no idea how to use the jack for my car, because it's not a normal car. And, of course, we're yelling at each other. This guy literally pulls over. It doesn't matter if it's snowing. He's like, do you need help? And I'm like, he doesn't know how to get the cap off. Not that I even tried, but I'm going to blame it on him. He goes, yeah, I got it. Literally, within like maybe 15 minutes, takes it off, puts the other tire in the trunk there, whatever you call it. But anyway, done, and I'm still arguing with Jeremy, and I look over, he's done, and he's pulled away. I'm like, thank you. I mean, like, people, it was like a little angel came and just helped. So that was one. But what was I going to talk about?
You said all three.
Yep, all three.
Yeah,
all
so that
two.
was one.
All two.
Well, there were three components: the flat tire, the snow, and the beltway. So to me, those were the three. But really, you all, there's more kindness in the world than there's not.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we are kind-hearted people, and life is not easy. So I don't remember who said. Oh, Buddha. The Buddha said, "Life is so hard. Why would we ever be anything but kind?"
Right.
And so, in general, we are way more kind. And what do we tend to hear about, because it's a habit we're in our culture, to repeat the bad things to 10 people and share the good things with maybe 1 or 2 people in our close circle. So this social change that we're all creating by talking about it, focusing on it, being mindful, being in the moment, is how we are bringing a kindness community life and expanding it.
Yeah,
I just remembered.
We
knew you would. I was just helping.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sure.
Sometimes you actually have to come across unfortunate things
Oh, yeah.
before you find
Note.
and notice
Yes.
the kindness that happens.
That's right.
I mean, when we had the storm, it was an unfortunate thing, but you really see a community
Yes.
come together. I mean,
Oh, I know. We love
Yes,
that.
in adversity.
But you were saying, do you stop? I remember seeing someone, I'm like, oh, I think she hasn't handled it. I'll just pull over. I'm like, are you good? And she's like, I'm just waiting, and I go, you're hot. Do you want to come in my car and cool down? So literally for 20 minutes until the tow truck came, I just sat there and she sat in my car being air conditioned because she was really hot. So it's
That
those
is really
little
nice,
things.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about kindness when we come back. This is Goodwill, Minnesota's Tell Me Something Good.
Because I wanted to mention Bayside and New College, how they came in and helped.
We'll continue the conversation.
Spoiler alert.
and we also want to mention where you can be found at.
Who's we?
Where you can be found at. We, the radio, the station.
Oh, she does.
Oh, okay.
It's her job. I got jobs, she got jobs. It's kind of like Jeremy. He has 5 jobs, I have 5 jobs.
Yeah.
And one of my jobs is telling him what his job is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my mother-in-law's coming in today.
Oh.
Yeah. She's we're flying her in to watch the dogs because we're going away on vacation.
Abu Dhabi.
Dubai.
Are you really?
Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives.
I just
What?
really like to say
May
Abu
I take
Dhabi.
your picture? I'm going to check in after the show. Do you mind?
Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi?
Say it with your tongue out.
No.
Abu
I'm
Dhabi.
not, you are, I thought you
Would
were
you
gonna
girls
put the
look over
microphone.
here? I want to take a picture. I'll check in after the show. I just want to get my girlfriends, my kind girlfriends. Thank you, Angel.
Does this mic make me look fat? Anyway, I'm ready. Welcome back to Tell Me Something Good. So, my third.
Yes, your third
Well,
kindness.
it's really like kind of 3 and 4. So there are so many organizations that have been continuously doing kind things, coming together, and they want to volunteer. So I want to give 2 shout outs. I know I probably already mentioned new college students came in maybe a month ago to our veterans office and helped clean out this. It's actually a room, but it was storage. There was so much stuff in there. So they actually came in, helped organize, and clean it out. Well, this past week, a huge shout out to Bayside Church. They had Serve Day, or it might have been Service Day. I can't remember what I tagged. But from all the different campuses around the community, they were encouraged to go volunteer. So we said, we are turning this room, we as in Goodwill, turning this room into a therapy healing room. And we have mental health counselors that come in and help veterans and their families who are suffering from PTSD and other mental health issues. So they came in and painted it. Isn't that
Wow.
awesome?
That's amazing.
It's so inspiring. It's such, love is an action verb.
Yeah.
We talk about, we feel it. No, it's an action verb. And that organization, like Goodwill, on a regular basis, is somewhere doing something new or expanded or building on all the great goodness that they're already doing. But yes, that organization and Jennifer and all of them,
Right.
amazing.
And wait, there's more. So Ringling students are coming in this coming week and painting some Americana murals
Oh,
throughout
amazing.
the Veterans Office.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. I'm just so excited.
Wow.
Very
Amazing.
cool.
It seems like the Ringling students are always really, they're always kind and always doing things for the community.
And
find that a
I
lot.
just
Very much
wish
so.
more and more people would do this. We come across it a great deal because you're judged by the company you keep, my mother always said.
Yeah.
So make sure your circle is people who are just like you. So if you're kind, you want to find kind people. If you want people who are thoughtful, surround yourself with thoughtful people. So it's
Indeed.
it's lovely. So all right, I just had to get my finished finest or kindness out.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
done.
think it was good. We need that.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
And I would like to actually get my kindness out because of you, Veronica. The love and the support that Sarasota community and its own has been amazing for our show. But I do want to give a shout out to Goodwill, Minnesota, who has believed in us actually from the very beginning. And without you, yes, and without you, we would just be doing our little thing. But I mean, you really have made it a bigger thing. And being part of all the different programs that Goodwill, Minnesota has been a huge support of has been amazing. It really, really has.
And that is a true story about kindness community as well. So that is the theme right here today, is that Goodwill, Minnesota is really at the heart of so many circles of goodness. Seriously, I wish I had the right words, but it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
If they say they're going to be about something, out and about or otherwise, trust me when I tell you, it will get legs. Its heart will be strong. And I'm just so grateful, as is everyone who is aware.
Oh, very cool.
That's what you always say. We're the foundation for a community to grow.
There you go.
Yeah. And
You listen to me. You really listen to me.
Yeah. But for real, we really do try to be the foundation for a community to grow. And if there are organizations or people listening that have great ideas on things that could be better for the community, we always love to collaborate and see what we can do to support your organization and how we can work together to make this a better place for all of us.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So it looks like you've said things like that. But again, if you want to learn more about Goodwill, Minnesota and how you can grow with us and how we could potentially support you, come to our next Lunch and Learn, Saturday, March 24th. So that's a week from Saturday at our North Sarasota location, which is the community room located just south of University on 301. You can RSVP at experiencegoodwill.org/events. And you do want to RSVP because it is a Lunch and Learn. So you're going to want to be able to have that lunch provided for you. It is totally free though. So if you're interested in learning more or seeing how you can get involved, definitely come check us out and learn. And you can get that behind the scenes tour too, which is pretty sweet.
Very sweet. But what else is sweet?
Sweet things. Let me think. Learning, free classes maybe?
Yeah, free educational, cultural, or fun activities. What?
Yeah.
Can you get that at Goodwill?
Veronica, you can definitely get that at Goodwill.
So what exactly do you talk about at these luncheons? I'm curious.
So the Lunch and Learn is where we go over basically like the history of Goodwill, all the different programs and services we provide to team members in the community. You can see basically we talk about our veterans program and the different programs within the veterans program, and then there's that behind the scenes tour. So it's really everything that you would want to know about Goodwill. And if you've ever had any questions, maybe you've heard rumors about Goodwill, like, oh, our CEO is a billionaire with 17 yachts in his own private island, which I'm pretty sure is the last rumor.
Then I
heard.
want that job.
Yeah, but that's not true. And so it's also a great time to ask any questions that you have about Goodwill and ask, I heard this, is this true? Or, people always say this, is this true? And we can tell you, most of the time it's not true unless it's something great, in which case, yeah, we did do that. But it's also where you can learn about all the free classes that we have coming up.
which are
Here I go.
hey.
All right. Every Saturday we have our Russian class in our North Sarasota community room. That's the room I just mentioned, just south of University on 301. You can learn Russian from a Russian fella. He's super nice, one of our great ambassadors who wanted to give back to his community and wanted to pass along his culture and just tell people, help them learn a new language, which is really cool.
And do you pay for that?
No, everything
these
is
are all free classes.
Free?
Yeah.
$3 and free cents?
Mhm.
Free.
Free 99.
And you've taken, so just say something in Russian.
Just anything?
Anything.
Anything. You put me on the spot. Well, my favorite Russian word is ploha.
Ploha.
Is that food?
It actually means bad, which I don't know. I just really like the way it sounds, ploha. And then if you on the flip side of that, horosho is good. So
Okay.
that's probably one we should learn more of. Horosho will.
Horosho will. Yeah.
That's
good.
But also, maybe if you need a little more zen in your life or just are looking for a low impact way to get a little more in shape, we do have free yoga classes.
Which I love.
And where else are you going to find free yoga? Just free.
Free.
So I know most places it's like $15, $20 for a yoga class, but at Goodwill it is free.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Free.
So Thursdays, the next one coming up is March 15th at 6 o'clock p.m. at our Honore Community Room. And again, you can stay up to date on all the classes that we have coming up at experiencegoodwill.org/classes. That will open, when you go to that page, it'll open a calendar and you can see everything. You can click on the name of a class. It'll open a whole new page with all the details about that class, and you can RSVP right there if you're interested in attending. There are some classes like our yoga class that fills up. So if you want to go, you need to RSVP and get your spot because, again, free yoga is something that you don't get most places.
All these classes are free?
Yeah, every single one.
Lord.
They're all taught by our ambassadors who are, again, those amazing volunteers that want to give back. And whether that is, just like Alex with the Russian classes, he wants to pass along his culture and help people learn a new language, or Linda with yoga, just loves yoga and wants to share it. Or for a lot of business owners, they want to get exposure for their business in a way that just gives them, sets them as an expert in their field in a way that people who maybe they don't need a banker right now, but they are interested in learning more about family budgeting, or maybe they don't necessarily want to revamp everything about their diet, but they are interested in learning more about family nutrition. It's a really great way to put yourself in front of an audience that might need your services later if you are a business or an organization, something like that. But again, that family nutrition class, that is a class we have coming up.
Right.
Thursday the 15th at 1 o'clock p.m. at our Cortez location. You can learn all about how to save money at the store while buying healthy foods and alternatives, things like that. And they're actually going to have a virtual tour through a grocery store to simulate shopping and making decisions so that you can get better nutrition for your family.
Very cool.
Yeah, and again, so experiencegoodwill.org/classes. You'll be able to find information about all the different classes we have coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
absolutely
my
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just blown away about all the free classes and there's no fee. And where are you going to find that at?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you about one more, actually.
Yeah.
So Saturday, March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, so be sure you're wearing green, at our North Sarasota, again, community room, we are having How to Self-Publish a Book, which is always one of our hugely popular classes. Leela Hartsaw is an ambassador who has self-published a number of her own books, some of which have won awards, because she's a good author there.
Very good.
But she's going to teach you if self-publishing a book is something that you are interested in doing in your lifetime. She's going to show you how to do it. Again, that's March 17th at 3 o'clock p.m. at our North Sarasota location. So reserve your seat, experiencegoodwill.org/classes if you're interested in attending. Be sure to visit experiencegoodwill.org just in general if you're interested in learning anything about what we've got going on. Check out Out and About Sarasota on their website and on Facebook, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then, Jacqueline, where can people learn more about the Kindness Community?
Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at
Kindness Community. So
at Kindness Community. So our website is wearekindnesscommunity.com.
Perfect.
So find us there.
And as always,
Thank
if
you.
you miss an episode, you can check us out on WSRQradio.com or download the show anytime on your favorite podcast app. It's Goodwill, Minnesota's Tell Me Something Good. Have an amazing day. I was short on another segment.
yeah.